I got a question for you guys. Can you think of the last time the Pokemon reprinted booster boxes? And I'm not talking about a brand new set like Perfect Order, Chaos Rising that is coming up next, Phantasmal Flames before that. I'm talking about an older set where they went back into the Pokemon Center and added more booster boxes for you to order or send them to distribution. It's probably been about a year, and after watching Rudy's video, I gotta say he is right, and Pokemon have to be doing this on purpose. If you haven't seen that video, go check it out. You're missing out. But on that video, Rudy mentioned something that I want to touch on, and it's the choice of Pokemon to not reprint booster boxes. And that choice alone has a ripple effect on the rest of the market. So why would Pokemon choose to not print any more booster boxes? And why instead would they choose to print a bunch of collection boxes that only have maybe 4 packs, 5 packs here and there? The answer is pretty simple, and it comes down to just being a business. Pokemon is a business, and they're in the business of making money. Why would they sell this to one person, make a few dollars, when they can make a dozen of collection boxes and get even more money from multiple people? So there's 2 reasons for that, okay? Obviously, they make more money than selling booster boxes to distribution or to the consumer directly. But not only that, instead of selling 1 booster box to 1 person, they can sell a dozen collection boxes to a dozen people, which in return will make more people happy than just 1 single person. Let's think about it in a different light. Pretend Pokemon cards or a booster box was a whole pie of pizza, and you want to supply that to your consumers, but there's only enough whole pizzas to go around. So what do you do instead to make more people happy? You sell it by the slice, right? You charge more money for each slice and you give it to more people to make them happy. This is the exact same thing. Instead of just selling a couple of booster boxes to a few people, they're trying to make more people happy by printing a bunch of collection boxes. It's really simple, guys. Think about it. So 1 booster box, right? If you sell this to 1 person, you're basically selling each pack for about $5. But instead, if you sell 18 of these, which each of these has 2 packs, that's 36 packs, but each of these is gonna cost you $15. You're making way more money from printing this, giving this to people, and instead of making 1 person happy, you're making 18 people happy. And here's the ugly truth, whether you want to admit it or not, guys. Why would Pokemon print their own products to the ground, spend more money printing everything they could possibly print? What's gonna happen if Pokemon were to print everything to the ground? People are not gonna want it. It's simple supply and demand. If the supply is too gigantic, if the supply is too enormous, products will just sit on the shelf. Pokemon will overprint, the hype will die down, and why would Pokemon, as a business of making money, would want to do that to their own product? Instead, what they want is for the hype to keep going. How many companies can you think of that when they put a product out, it sells out instantly? That's a problem that Pokemon, unfortunately, doesn't want to solve. Why would they? It makes no sense. And I understand that there's a lot of people that feel like this is a game that should be for kids or for enthusiasts, but there's a reason why Pokemon put special illustration rares in here. Illustration rares. They already had the cards for the game. Why do they put special artworks and make the cards so hard to get? Because even Pokemon understands that this is not just a simple card game. This, guys, believe it or not, is an asset. Pokemon is a business. They're in the business of making money, and they're not gonna stop now. Maybe I'm wrong and Pokemon decides to print their own sets to the ground. Maybe they think, hey, let's have enough supply for all the teamies out there. Maybe they stop caring about their products selling out instantly, about making the most money, and all they want is for everybody to be happy. But anyways, guys, this is the part where we make our own decision. Are you the person who's gonna be sitting on the sideline waiting for Pokemon to crash? Waiting for all the prices to come down to MSRP? How long have you been waiting for that? A year? 2 years? 3 years? When is that gonna happen again? And how long more are you willing to wait? Or are you gonna be the person who complains about everybody else who gets their hands on the product before you, calling everyone else a scalper, telling people how terrible they are, when in reality, guys, are you just upset that people get the product before you? Are you mad because you're not the one making the hundreds, thousands of dollars? Are you really upset because somebody else is making their money and not you? Because somebody else got to flip a product and you didn't? Is that why you're calling everybody a scalper? I hate to break it to you guys, but we live in a capitalist market. Whether you complain, whether you sit on the sidelines, people are gonna continue to make their money. They really don't care if somebody complains. They're gonna keep making their money. So again, I ask you, are you gonna be the person who just sits on the sideline waiting to see what happens, waiting for the Pokemon market to crash? Are you gonna be the person who just complains about everyone else, all the scalpers? Are you gonna be commenting, oh, I hate you, you're the reason I can't get product? Or are you willing to risk it on something that you love and invest into something that you think will continue to grow for the years to come? I may be wrong. This stuff could all go to zero. But if we're being honest, I'd rather take a chance than to sit on the sidelines, than to just complain. I'd rather take a chance and see if I can make something out of this. I mean, you could invest into the stock market, you can invest into crypto, or you can invest into something that you love, something that you believe in. We have 30 years of history to look at with Pokemon cards, knowing very well that they're gonna go up. At this point, I don't even care about being called a scalper, guys. I don't even have time to go to the store. I have a full-time job. I do this on my extra time. I buy from the scalpers, and then I hold on to it for a few months, for a year or two, and then I sell it because that's how much I believe in this product. I believe that over the years, this will always increase in price. So, are you gonna wait for MSRP? Are you gonna hate me in the comments down below? Or are you gonna take a leap of faith and invest into something that we all love?